Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic with Lyte. And today we're going to revisit the thrusters, because in the 0.1.18 update, they added additional thruster power levels. So the numbers that we had before for the lift and the total thrust are now mostly irrelevant, because there are lots of different settings now. Most likely, the previous thruster power is this setting number 4, which is the default, but now you can make it less powerful and more powerful. So let's get started. The difficulty with thrusters is they are, I don't want to say unpredictable, but inconsistent. They don't put out constant power, and they don't put it out in a constant direction. So if you try to do these measurements on my weights and measures scale, it will do all sorts of bad things. It'll make the basket swing. It can torque the bar right off of the scale. Too many bad things happen. So we need something different. Also, they aren't consistent with the amount of power they output, so getting it to balance is also tricky. And we'll see that in a second, because even when working in this setup, what I have it set at is the amount of weight it takes to make it such that it doesn't wander off. If we take more of the weights off of this, it won't return back to the ground. It'll start air hockeying around. Sometimes it'll gain altitude, sometimes it'll tip itself over. If you've got less weight than this, it'll do those sorts of things. So I've got measurements using 4 thrusters on each of the levels, and essentially these values should make it basically hover, because the amount of weight, like the amount of drop, is balanced out by the amount of bonus thrust. Any more and it'll start going up. Any less and it'll start going up. Any more it'll start falling. So yeah, let's get to some numbers. So here we've got level 1. We've got 28 metal and 36 wood on it for 176 wood total for the 4 thrusters. So we divide that by 4. You get 7 metal, 9 wood for a total of 44 bonus lift per thruster. Now keep in mind, that is lift. That is not total force, because it still has to lift itself. So thrusters weigh 16, so if you add 32 to any of these numbers, you'll get the amount of thrust that it gives you in any other, like any direction that doesn't have to worry about gravity. So to the left, to the right, down, that's how much thrust you're going to get. So 44 normally, plus 32 would be 76 total thrust. And this is all measured in wood. I'll give you some figures with metal, but the amount in wood is probably what you're going to need. Here we add a bit more metal to it. This is our level 2. It's still pretty low thrust. This particular thing has 52 metal and 36 wood, leading to 296 wood. So per thruster, that's 13 metal, 9 wood, for a total of 74 wood each, total lift, not thrust. I'm not going to do thrust and total. You just add 32 to the lift and you'll be fine. So that was 74, so 44, 74. Over here we add a layer of metal on top. So we've gone from 13 to 22 metal plus 9 per thruster for 119 wood per thruster. So this entire layout, that's 88 metal, 36 wood, 476 wood total for all 4. So once more, 44, 74, 119. It's a weird number. I don't really like it. I might want to rejigger this one to make sure this is exactly right. But again, these are approximate measurements for average thrust, because it has that little push and then it falls and push and fall. Moving on to level 4, now we get rid of the wood and we're working all in metal. At this point, it does get more approximate because the thrusts are more serious. and there's a lot of time between the thrust and the next thrust. I haven't been able to figure out exactly when those thrusts happen, because in certain situations they happen more frequently and others more slowly. So it might have to do with where in the world they are, but that doesn't make sense because they're on the ground and it's happening. So more investigation is necessary for the timing of those thrusts. But okay, from here on out we're just going to do per thruster. So here, per thruster, 31 metal, which is 107? No, it can't be 170. That would be 155. My numbers seem a little weird on this one. So we might need to double check this one. Yeah. It's more likely 32 metal for 160 wood total. We might need to do a little extra science on level 4. But the difference between this much and this much is not particularly significant. And if we drop 4 off of this, it just starts to wobble a little. Whoa, that's a little much. And now it falls over. Ah, it's going away. Ow. And all of these are totally mobile, so we can do anything we want with them. So that one should be like so, and then yeah, if we turn it back on, it doesn't go anywhere. That's the sort of behavior you'll get when you don't have enough weight on it. It'll tip over and try to fly away. So over here we've got level 5. Level 5 is 52 metal per thruster for 260 wood per thruster. Again, lift. So 44, 74, probably 119, probably 160, and then 260. Now we start getting large gains each time. So 260, moving on to level 6, is 82 metal for 410 wood that these thrusters can carry at level 6. See, this one, it was bouncing more often, but it's still falling back to the ground. It's a weird phenomenon. Needs more investigation. But level 6, that was 410. And now level 7, the behemoth. I mean, this whole thing is, except for the thrusters, solid metal. So each thruster is lifting 128 metal. That's 640 wood. It's a nice round programmer number. 128 metal per thruster. It's real big. So, quick review. These numbers are for the average thrust of the thrusters. It'll not be continuous because you have that bit of extra thrust and then fall, thrust and then fall. Measured in wood, we've got 44, 74, 119-ish, 160-ish, 260, 410, and 640. Measured in metal, roughly 7, 13, 22, 32, 52, 82, 128. So with these level 7 thrusters, you can launch some heavy things up into the air. I mean, this much solid metal you could fan out into a decent-sized UFO that's really heavy, but still gets up in the air. So that's just a quick update to the thruster thrust video. If you've got any questions about the method, if you have a better method for measuring this thrust, maybe evening it out with a flywheel or something, please let me know. If you've got suggestions for science you'd like to see scienced, also let me know. I already plan on doing a video on friction and a video on torque in the near future, so look forward to those. If you have any other ideas or anything you'd like to see, I have an idea for a creation, but still needs fleshing out, and, well, 2 things, but they both rely on research I haven't done yet, so torque and friction, particularly. But I will see you in the next episode of Scrap Mechanic with Lyte.